When you play this way, with multiple options, so much movement, you're always fine-tuning, and so, I think we're bouncing back and forth, you got the whole method of teaching, I think we're kind of bouncing back and forth between teaching the whole and breaking down some parts. You can kind of see us doing that in practice a little bit. But yeah, I think these guys are getting close to, to being ready to go out and compete against somebody else.
Yeah, Justin was saying that it was kind of he ran fast at Georgia, but he said it's a little more structured fast here. So I don't know, does that mean it's more complicated and maybe takes a little more time to get all that stuff in?
I hope not. I think it's pretty simple at it's at the core essence of it, and but the pace is a constant. That's got to be a constant thing. You're playing with pace. If you want to play fast, you got to have great fundamentals, and you got to be opportunistic, and you got to play fast to score, not just run fast. So these guys have done a good job with it, and like I said, I think we got to get out and test it against somebody else, and feel what get a feeling what it's like to go back and forth for long stretches.
What's been the biggest progression since the red and blue game, in your opinion?
Well, the red and blue game, I thought the guys, they played with good pace. The ball moved decently, and they're starting to see some of the opportunities in the reads. To be honest with you, last week I kind of created a little bit of adversity for the guys, and I wanted to see how we reacted when things got a little bit tougher, and I was a little bit more critical, and that's part of the learning process, and I want us to struggle before we compete against somebody else, because you don't want your first struggles to come under the lights. So but yeah, I would just say the emphasis has been dealing with adversity, responding from bad plays, picking each other up with positive energy, that type of stuff, what I've really been focusing on.
When you say that, then you mean yelling at them? They have to run laps or anything?
Not necessarily yelling at them, but just putting them in situations where they're making mistakes, and then seeing how they respond from those mistakes. The game is a game of mistakes. And making mistakes, that's not necessarily is a bad thing if you learn from it. And you don't want to make a bunch of mistakes in a row, and then you want to learn how, okay, here's where mistakes are coming. How do we avoid these situations? And and sometimes it's not about getting better at something. It's about just let's not do it. So those are some of the things I've really been focused on, and and these guys are all they've done a great job, and you have good individual players, and it's natural this time of year that they're kind of pushing and testing the limits of what they can do and can't do, and so it's a little bit of give and take from coach and player, and but I think we're hopefully going to hit a good stride soon.
What have you seen that encourages you?
Well, I think we have pretty good players, and I think overall we have good attitude. I think we're going to be able to throw out a rotation, that's going to be able to, keep bodies fresh, keeping good players on the court and absorb foul trouble, and and things of that nature, because those things factor so much into winning, more than maybe than people think, foul trouble, fatigue, those types of things, and I feel good about having enough good players to think that we're going to be really competitive on a nightly basis.
You think you can go even 9 or 10 deep, maybe, or something? Or is it too
For
early
sure.
to
I haven't even set any rotation yet, but yeah, and then we're probably going to try a few things here and there, and these guys have worked hard. You want to give guys chances under the lights to see how they look a little bit, and kind of let the rotation kind of organically settle itself, as opposed to me pigeonholing guys or trying to pound the old square peg into a round hole type of stuff. So.
Any update on Pelle's status?
I haven't been asking for daily updates. I think it's going better every day, and I think it's getting closer. And I'm seeing him out here, on the practice floor, trying to sneak in a few drills here and there. Obviously non-contact, not full speed, but I would anticipate him to, be at 100% for the majority of the season, if not all.
What do we see from Umar, and what do you kind of expect?
I think Umar, obviously he's a physical presence, that's number one. I want him on the court. I want people to feel Umar on the court. And, so, being in shape and keeping up is part of that. And the last week or two, I think he started to hit his stride a little bit. Obviously, Umar's probably a little bit more comfortable with the system than some of these other guys, so I've maybe been a little bit more critical of him at times because I think he should know what's going on. But again, he's 19 years old. He's a developing player, and I'm looking for Umar to be able to contribute, hopefully on a nightly basis. Would be what I'm hoping for.
What are your goals right now for some of the young guys like Shane and Adama?
Get better. I mean, they're good players, and they bring a smile to my face coaching them. Right now, they were getting a ton of reps, with the, we had just splitting up the top guys evenly and playing. They were getting a ton of reps in, and now they're getting a little bit more reps on the second team, just because we got to rest guys. You can't be going as hard as we're practicing. Guys need a few reps to catch their breath, and sometimes it's easier just to go to 2 teams of 8 than 3 teams of 5. So, but they've been good. They've been really good. I mean, I think they're right where they need to be, and they're learning. Sometimes it can be a big jump, especially for a U.S. high school kid in this system because there's so much movement. Some of the European kids have maybe even been playing a little bit closer to this, growing up, so they're a little bit more comfortable with the movements that we're trying to do. But Shane, he's really gotten up to speed, and I think both those kids are going to be really, really good players at Arizona, and my hope is that they're starters, probably in the near future, and giving us a great foundation of 2 really good wings.